Hello, everyone. This is a presentation on human security in Alaska by Justin Young. So, when talking about human security, there are 7 areas involved, those being economic, environmental, food, health, political, personal, and community. So, just to give you a breakdown of each area of human security, I'll start with economic, which is the assurance of basic income, being able to live free from poverty. Environmental security is considered being able to live in a healthy, livable environment. Obviously, that is going to vary from person to person on what they believe is healthy and livable. Next is food, which is the ability to access basic foods that are safe to eat. They're pesticide free. They're not contained with diseases or going to make you ill. And then we have health, which is from living away from major causes of death, such as diseases, infections. These are often linked with lower, poor living environment. Sorry. Then we have political, which is free from political oppression, being able to uphold and practice your basic human rights on a day-to-day basis. Then we have personal, which once again is going to vary from person to person. Everyone has what they need to feel safe, to feel secure. And then we have community. Community focuses more on the community aspects of security, their their neighbors, the community members. It's being free from living free from fear, which on the next slide I'll get into. So two major components of human security are freedom from fear and freedom of want. So freedom from fear is not living in fear of their government, police, neighbors. It's being able to live trusting your government, trusting the police are out there doing the right thing, trusting the neighborhood you live in and the people beside you that live next door that you can live safely around them and feel comfortable. Then there's the freedom of want, which is economic understanding, ensuring every nation has a healthy peacetime during its life, during your life, during the next generation, and so on and so forth. So, what is human security? What what makes you feel secure, safe as an individual? And like I said before, this is going to vary. There is no one size fits all. It's going to differ from person to person. Each area is defined differently by everyone. For example, a homeless man is going to have different definitions of each security, such as economic security, being able to make a living. For a homeless man, that could be picking up bottles and taking them to the bottle depot, say 20 bottles a day, and getting some change for food. Obviously, that's probably not going to be the same as economic security for a billionaire. There's two different lifestyles, and just like everyone else, they have their different lifestyles, so they're going to have their different definitions of each area. So when talking about Alaskan natives and their communities, there's 13% of individuals are food insecure due to lack of resources. That being transportation, in my opinion, probably one of the biggest ones. And also 65% of Alaska residents perform subsistence, which is maintaining oneself at a minimum level. And I would say that this is a cause because Alaska natives live off the land. There's remote communities. There's small communities on the coast that rely on fishing, hunting, and with global warming and climate change increasing at a steady pace, this makes it harder for them to live off the land, to travel. There's thin ice that they can't cross to go where they usually would to hunt, or vice versa. The animals can't cross. The animals when they can't cross, they get stuck in an area where they don't have the food, the nutrients to feed themselves in that area, and then they're unhealthy to eat. These animals then become high risk for diseases because of the increased pesticides and the pollution and the carbon dioxide, sorry, from the tundras melting and the permafrost and the glaciers melting, because it's just not holding in all the carbon dioxide and all the pollutants. Like I said, travel for both human and animals is a big issue. Insecurity for the communities. There's permafrost, erosion, flooding. This is damaging infrastructure, which is very costly and not ideal for Alaska communities where they could be spending their money somewhere else. There's also loss of roads, whether it's ice roads or paved roads. These roads are being ruined due to permafrost and erosion and flooding, and there's communities that rely on ice roads to get to and from places. And without that, they're stuck. And when they have to pick up and leave because of flooding, sometimes they can't because there's no road to go, which is a very big issue in Alaska communities, especially on the coast. Then there's oil and gas, which is a driving force in the economy. And unfortunately, for the same reasons I just mentioned, the seasons are being shortened because, once again, transportation, the roads they're not accessible, they're not available for these oil and gas companies. So all 7 of these areas are tied in with each other in some way, creating a chain reaction throughout all human securities, including Alaskan securities like the ones I mentioned.